a good ball. The flag stays down. Heaney! Oh!
They scored again! It's Davis again! It's job done now!
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Northern Ireland podcast with myself, Adam Johnson, and Andy McComb. Today we are building up to a
massive
game against Germany here at the National Football Stadium at Windsor Park, where all the tickets are completely sold out.
But are they, Adam?
Well, are they not?
Well, it is sold out, but we have two tickets to give away to you, the fans, and a special guest of the podcast today is going to tell you now how you can get your hands on those two tickets.
Hey guys, I'm Jonathan Ray on this week's podcast. We're giving away 2 tickets to the Northern Ireland versus Germany game on the 9th of September here at Windsor Park. For your chance to win, just drop a comment below this video for your reason why you want to come to the game. Good luck, everyone.
So that was Jonathan Ray there telling you how you can get your hands on those 2 tickets. So Andy, what else do people have to do?
So basically, as Johnny said, you have to comment under the YouTube video of the podcast, giving a reason of why you want to come to the Northern Ireland v Germany game. And just out of respect to Johnny Ray, I'd like to see a few motorbike emojis in there as well.
Yeah, I think that would only be fair, really. Yep.
Yeah. But also, as always, you need to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, Northern Ireland on YouTube. Not subscribing to our YouTube channel will, in fact, once again, void your entry.
And the deadline for that will be the day before the Germany game, which is the Sunday. So make sure you're getting your entries in before then, because we could be picking a winner at any point during the day on the Sunday before the game. So make sure you get your entries in and do not miss out. And be checking your YouTube comment. Check that we've replied.
Yep. Check your YouTube emails that day, because if you don't reply to us in time, we're going to have to give your 2 Germany tickets to somebody else.
But anyway, we've been talking long enough now about tickets in Germany. But we're going to keep the conversation going on about Germany right now.
George, thanks for joining us on the podcast. How's training been going this week for you?
Yeah, training's been good. We obviously joined up Sunday. It's been good to get the boys back together, obviously, after a couple of months since the summer fixtures. And we look forward to, obviously, Thursday with a friendly, but obviously, more importantly, the Monday game.
The Germany team is going to be slightly different from the one that you made your debut against. Do you set up the same, or does it matter, who's playing for Germany? It's Germany. Yeah,
well, it's Germany. Obviously, they're going to be big favourites, but you know what we can do at home, especially with our fans. We're going into the game 4 out of 4 in the group stage, so we're optimistic.
Say it's Sunday night. How does George Saville prepare to play against Germany the next day?
No different really, just relaxed in the hotel with the boys, bit of PlayStation, watch a film and just get your mind on it.
Doesn't faze you at all then, it's just another game?
Yeah, obviously I've been in the setup a couple of years now, which has been good for my experience and making my debut against Germany. But this time around, it's more of a case of trying to get something out of the game and being able to compete with them and knowing we have got a chance of getting something out of this game.
It feels like just yesterday you were making your debut against Germany, but does it feel like you're well settled in now and you're almost part of the furniture around the Northern Ireland squad?
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I feel really settled in. Obviously, the boys have been great from the first day. Couldn't give them enough praise, and the manager and the staff and the fans and the whole nation as a whole. It's all been really good, and every time I come away, I look forward to it. So hopefully, long it continues.
A couple of new faces in the squad now as well. How have they been blending in for you, and is there anyone that has kind of stuck out for you in training?
Yeah, no, they've been good. Obviously, we've had a few injuries, and a few of the boys, as you said, have stepped up and trained. And obviously today we had a couple of the young boys, young Alfie in the midfield. He's obviously a really tidy player. So it's great for them, but it's great for us to be able to be with them as well, because obviously eventually they'll be coming through and hopefully having an impact for us.
Shane Lavery, there's been a lot of speculation, obviously, about him recently on whether he can get into the squad. He's just got called up. Is he a player you've been looking at yourself?
Yeah, obviously I've only had today and yesterday with him, so I haven't seen too much of him, but he seems bright in training, energetic, works hard, keeps his head down. You see all the right things in him, so hopefully he can come in and give us an impact.
Monday night, big name in Belfast, not just in terms of the Euros, but they've done it in World Cups as well. And to go along with that, they've got fans that are world famous and make a lot of noise. Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll intimidate Germany?
Yeah.
How big a part are the fans going to play in this game to get behind Northern Ireland?
Yeah, massive. Obviously, every home game you feel it. It gives you that extra little bit. And you've heard players before say about how difficult it is to come and play at Windsor Park. You've heard that before in press conferences and stuff. So it's a huge bonus for us to have the fans we have for the home games, and obviously going 4 out of 4 up until now, and having the home fixture going into the Germany, it's come at a right time for us.
Brilliant. George, thanks very much and good luck.
Perfect, thank you.
We have a special guest on the Northern Ireland podcast today, Jonathan Ray. Thanks for your time, mate. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for joining us.
How are you doing? How are you keeping?
Yep, really good. Enjoying my summer break, although if we look outside, we're not enjoying the best summer here in Northern Ireland. But yeah, I've had 4 or 5 weeks off the bike now, and my next race is Portugal next weekend. So excited to get stuck back into it, but really enjoying the break at the same time.
And obviously it's all going very well for you.
Yeah, I had I wouldn't say slow start. I've done a really good job at the start of the year. I've seemed to be second in every race though, which is a bit demoralising after the last 4 seasons. I've dominated the championship. There's a guy, Alvaro Bautista, came over for a MotoGP. Ducati brought out a incredible bike, and it seemed like we were on the back foot, but we just stayed with the game plan and kept mentally strong. And then lo and behold, in mid-season, the pendulum just swung my way, and we gathered some momentum, a lot of race wins. He had some crashes, and we capitalised on that. So we turned it was a 61-point deficit into an 81-point advantage. So it's never enough in our sport, to have that kind of advantage, but we need to keep working. We've got 4 rounds left, and but target's kind of back in sight now. There's a light at the end of the tunnel and pushing ahead. If
you get that 5 in a row, do you think that's what you've needed to do now to get the Sports Personality of the Year? Is that
I don't know.
Is that it? Is that going to be it? Or is Stokes maybe going to put a wee bit of
motorcycling been such a niche sport, I feel like. I was lucky to get nominated a few years back, but to finish runner-up to Mo Farah was nuts. I had no idea that people would... I just didn't want to be last, So I was quite happy to have a drink in the BBC and a nice night out with my wife. She had an excuse to go and buy a new dress, and we had a great night. But then the following year, I won another championship, but they completely changed the vote, the way the event went. I think they selected 6 people, and then you won from that. So it was kind of cool after, because it's behind the scenes. After you sort of, the live show stops, you go into like press conferences, and all the journalists had like no idea who I was. And a lot of the pieces the next day was, how did this guy get selected? But motorcycling in my world's massive. It's especially back here in Northern Ireland, who guys like Joey Dunlop paved the way for me, and it was super cool because I feel like I contribute to putting motorcycling in the spotlight for a night, and if it did anything positive, that was good.
So going on to the football. So can you remember your first game here? What can you remember of it? About coming here to Windsor Park as a kid?
I can remember must have been 7 or 8 years old. I can't remember much about the game. I can't remember who we were playing, but it was one of my dad's oldest workmates decided to take me to a football match, because I never grew up in a football family. So I thought, oh great. And I just remember me being so young and so cold. But I had chips, I remember that, and I think it was a 0-0 score, but I was 8 years old, and I loved the atmosphere. Because the closest we never, in motorcycling, you never get that sort of amphitheatre. The closest I felt was maybe, I raced a supercross race at it's now the SSE Arena, the Odyssey.
Yeah.
And you got that feeling, you roll into the arena at night and it's packed with, I think it holds 8,000 people, maybe, that arena. But the feeling inside the stadium and it's generally home games, are full of home support. And the support the players get is incredible. I see it throughout the world. You see some Northern Ireland flags. And generally, Northern Ireland fans in each sport, whether it be golf or boxing or motorcycling, they tend to don the Northern Ireland football strip. So it's pretty cool that that's become our sort of national sport, if you like. And it's like, playing massive teams like Germany, the support you have. The fans never enter Windsor Park thinking you're going to lose. They're right behind the players, and it's must be a nice. If I could swap what I do for anything else in the world, it'd be to be a Northern Ireland football player and just to walk out, in front of the home fans and feel the energy they have and the support you have.
Of course, you had a wee taste of that at Germany, the home game against Germany in 2017.
Yeah.
You came out to say hello to the fans. And how was that for you at that game?
That was really nice. Although it was a massive game, it was a bit of a whirlwind that week for me because I'd won 3 championships and I was doing like a homecoming event, and I had to come and do many things, but everything I think it was a Thursday night, that game. I was just looking forward to coming and watching the game. So I was actually really nervous being brought out because firstly, I was like, are these people going to actually know who I am stepping out on the pitch? I'm just going to ruin their game, And then, I get a load of support. People were like really, happy to see me out there, and I got lots of claps and cheers, and it felt really good, and I just felt closer to it. And then now, currently, I feel like the face of the Northern Ireland football team's changed in the last years. It's like really, maybe it's because I'm just more aware, but it seems like there's really reason for optimism that we can go to these big tournaments and really succeed, and that's cool because you get really behind it.
How do you then, if you're Michael O'Neill, how do you set up against Germany compared to maybe our last 4 games where we've went at them and we've been attacking? Would you personally be a bit more reserved now, or would you just say, do you know what, just go at them again, go at Germany?
I think you just have to. It's hard to dictate a style. I've talked to Michael quite a bit about how we prepare as motorbike riders and how the players prepare. And it's really hard in football playing for a national team because all these guys have their club teams they play with week to week and train with, and they have their certain ways. And training camps for a national game is, you don't get weeks and weeks and weeks to prepare for a game. So the gel between the players has got to work, and you got to play how that happens. The chemistry within the team can't be manufactured. You can't sometimes go out and play in a dictated certain style. It's just about taking the best of the opportunities. And if you get an opportunity against a Germany, for example, in a couple of weeks, you got to make it count. So it's about trying to minimize mistakes if you get that opportunity. But it's hard to know. I definitely wouldn't want to be the coach. Michael going into the dressing room and dictating the style of play, but I think just do what feels best on the night with the players.
Do you have any players yourself that are favourites of yours?
It's really cool I always enjoy watching Stevie Davis play because he's the real the concrete in the team, if you like. He makes things happen on the pitch. You just see him at one end and then he's at the other end, and reminds you of kind of the style of not a out and out forward like Messi, but you sometimes see him walking around like Messi. Next thing he's full gas, 90 miles an hour, making a good assist. And I always follow Stuart Dallas as well. Keep up to date with his club games at Leeds as well. He's a bit of a motorbike fan, and he's been a real every start he's made an impact in games as well at Northern Ireland. So it's There's a lot of players, especially this new generation of young players coming through as well now. It's quite exciting because they can make a big impact in the club, and hopefully, now Northern Ireland's a force to be reckoned with in the world. So hopefully we can take a step forward, not just be happy with the level we have right now, but take a big step and become regular challengers in these tournaments.
Is there any player in the Northern Ireland squad that you think you would fancy themselves to step into your world and maybe have a go at the Superbikes?
I don't know. I don't actually know too many of them if they're into Superbikes. I know Stuart follows motorbike racing, so it'd be cool to do a day in the life, if you like a job swap.
Job swap.
Don't give us ideas.
He come and do a day testing with me in Spain at the end of the season. I come and do a day training with the football players. I train with some of the Ulster rugby players to understand their training methods, not games. But it'd be interesting to see how the footballers they're training. The weeks up to events, and how they, not just the condition on the track and their set pieces and their sort of skill drills, if you like, but it'd be nice to understand that.
We're getting that in the diary. Day in the life. We're going to do a job swap. I think it's
pretty much a verbal contract there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I fancy myself at my free kicks now.
I was going to say, what position would you be?
Set piece specialist.
I'd probably centre midfield. Tend to be out the wing, a bit like loose out in the wing as well.
Bit of a free roll.
Yeah. I'm not shy of a fancy myself as a Stevie Davis.
Pulling the strings.
Definitely with
Watch
not
out.
as much skill, but I fancy myself. I'm not shy of a tackle either. Don't think the referee would enjoy me very much, but I like getting stuck into a tackle. But I wouldn't like the pressure of a real forward or striker, if you like, because like I said earlier, they get one or two opportunities to make it happen in a game, and they need to execute. And if you don't, you've missed an opportunity, or you've missed 3 points, and that's tough to deal with. And you might just get a chance of a dodgy ball coming. You've got one volley chance at getting it in to beat two defenders or three or whatever, and that's that pressure. I don't like that.
Is it just belief then? You just have to back yourself at this point when you've got so much pressure to just get over that last little bit of the finish line for Northern Ireland and for yourself?
Well, I think I'm probably in a bit more of an advantage because I'm leading with a points advantage, so I don't have to go out and win every race now to the end, which is sometimes a damaging, effect, because you don't want to ride on the defensive. But for me, because it's a long way to decide whether we're going through or not in football, and it's a long way for me to decide whether I'm going to win. This next race and this next game, you got to go in and try and win and try and get the maximum amount of points. I mean, I want to build the gap to make these last races less pressure. You don't want to be going into your last game thinking, we got to hammer these now, and we have to win or we're going out. It would be nice to, but it's such a tough group. I'm racing against one guy now. I mean, I've almost got double the points of the third place guy. So I exactly know my rival. Well, when you're in a group with Netherlands and Germany, it's tough. It's arguably two of the best teams in the world. So I don't know, I'm speaking from the outside, but it seems like the mood in the camp and the players are all pretty happy under Michael O'Neill. It seems like he's brought a cool aura to the dressing room, and certainly in post-match sort of interviews you see with the players, they're all pretty G'd up and happy that they've given their best. So let's see.
It's convinced me that we can do it.
Yeah, it's convinced me.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
So finally,
I hope the players are convinced.
Listen to this.
That's it.
That's it now. But finally, then to finish, score prediction.
My head and heart says different things. I'd love to say, you'd love to see a win, but I think it'll be 1-1. I think we'll see a 1-1 draw.
A good battle in Northern Ireland performance that we've known.
We take that.
Oh, I'd definitely take that.
Josh McGuinness to score.
Josh McGuinness.
He loves a goal against the
Loves
Germans,
it.
that man, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
it'd be a last-minute one as well. There'll be people walking out of the stands, and next thing it'll just erupt. There'll be fireworks and everything. Get it ready, it's going to happen.
Sounds great.
Well, thanks for your time, Johnny. That was perfect. And enjoy the game. I'm hoping we do as well.
Okay, so today we're joined by Ryan and Pete from the NI Classic Shirt Co.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing today, guys?
Good, excellent. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, and you've just started up the
shop.
The shop, yeah. Tell us a little about it then, how it's going.
I've always collected football shirts anyway. You know, it's always been something that I've enjoyed doing. But the turn of the year, December time, I was over in Manchester actually for the Carframpton fight against Warrington, and seen a shop in Manchester that was making a business out of classic football shirts. So it was huge, and it was amazing. So it got me sort of thinking, well, why can't there be a shop at home for that? So I started collecting shirts and selling them online, very, very slowly at the start, a couple on eBay, and then just got a bit brave and thought I could have a website. So opened the website after a few months. Got some traction online, but not that much. Approached the Belfast Council then for the Twilight Market or St George's Market because the footfall is fantastic there. In doing so, they mentioned that the shop was available in Smithfield Market as well. So one thing led to another, and I only got married in July, so I probably should have been just focusing on that. in amidst all of that, somehow I ended up getting a stall at the Twilight Market and signing for the shop as well.
And I know, Andy, that one behind there is one of your favourites.
Yeah. So that's early 90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of
1992, I think.
I remember Ian Dowie was kind of the poster boy. I don't think Ian Dowie's ever been described as a poster boy, but he is to me. And when I think of that shirt, I think of Ian Dowie. Is there certain players that you kind of associate with certain shirts? Then, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think even most recently the home shirt from Euro 2016. You know, I just think of Macaulay with that from that Ukraine.
It's a favourite of yours, that one, and all.
That one,
2016.
Even it just puts a smile on your face when you see it. You know, I have a shirt at home for the England game when we beat England 1-0, the Healy one. We have that. We're actually working on something for that, for an art T-shirt for that to sort of pay a tribute to that moment, because everybody loves that moment when we beat England. You know, it was fantastic.
Wee moments like that, I think, do kind of the seal a shirt in history, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's like a player almost has a lot to do with
Oh yeah, very much.
like how popular a shirt's going to be, because people are almost buying moments, aren't they? They're not just buying shirts.
Yeah, very much so.
So like you were saying earlier about the 2016 shirt, and like what you remember about that one, that's what sticks in your head about it.
Yeah, that one, and then I was saying about 1982, the shirt from then with the old school like Adidas logo. Like, I like that one as well. Like, and again, it's probably because I've seen Jerry Armstrong goal about a million times. Yeah. And you know, that sort of thing. So you just know the shirt, or the one that Alan's got on behind as well for 86 as well, like similar
I actually
style.
sold one of those 2 weeks ago. I got it from, I think, from Australia or somewhere. And I posted it on social media and was waiting for it. It took its time to get here. And before I even got to put it on the website, there was a fella from Kilkeel came in and bought it because he was very adamant that he had to have it for his dad for his birthday, you know. Very nice guy, but I got the feeling I couldn't disappoint him either. You know, that's what was said on it, you know. He was determined to get it, and he was very kind with what he did for it. So, yeah, I had that shirt for about 6 hours, I think, and that was it. And it was gone, you know. So
another thing, obviously, you have the programs as well. That's one of my kind of. I remember growing up, I used to collect programs a bit as well. So looking through them, I find that fascinating. How did you get your hands on all these? And
it was actually a fellow Michael contacted me on Twitter, and he has a huge collection. He showed me a snippet of it, and when he says thousands, he genuinely means it. You know, thousands of programs. So we partnered up with him. Last Friday, he brought about 6 or 7 boxes of programs into the shop, because it's relatively small unit, so we didn't want to stack it too much, but brought it down. So there's Northern Ireland ones, Irish League ones, some of the English teams, Scottish teams, they're all there, and from cup finals and stuff. And people at the door just sitting, like, they're on the floor in the boxes. People don't care, they just sit down and get stuck into them. You know? I think we mentioned before about being brought back as a kid. I think the programmes are maybe doing that for some people as well.
We saw the people out too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. There's actually a fella from, I think he was from Spain or Portugal yesterday. He bought a load as well. So Northern Ireland ones, and I think there were Linfield ones actually as well. Yeah. So people coming tourist wise and getting a bit of our history, I guess, through the programmes too.
Yeah, so whenever you're at a game, do you kind of like, are you clocking people that are wearing these shirts now?
Yeah, very much so. Like,
that's one of ours.
Yeah,
I know, it's a bit, it could be, it's a bit surreal sort of thing when you see that, but yeah, like last game there was Belarus, was that? And it was 2-1. So between celebrating at the end, you see a couple of people with certain shirts and stuff as well. And it reassures us that we're tapping into the right market. It's not a case of every single person in the stands is wearing a retro shirt. It's not possible.
Yeah.
And because they are sometimes a bit more expensive, it's not necessarily affordable to every single person. We try our best to keep them as cheap as we can. But just seeing them there just sort of reassured me at the start, and then when Pete got involved and helped me so much with all the skill set he has for marketing and just generally with the business. But the more and more we seen of it, the more and more I felt confident that we're tapping into the right market sort of thing. So
it's the right fans too. I mean, Northern Ireland football fans this isn't a cliche, they are genuinely the best football fans in the world. I would say the best sporting fans in the world. And that's why you see the retro kits. These are people that have, when you're a Northern Ireland fan, you're a fan for life. You're going to games for life, whether you're not winning a competitive match for 4 years, wins are still sellout. If you're 4-0 up or 4-0 down, you can't tell the difference. The crowd's still the same. So they're genuine, passionate football fans. And if we can tap into them a little bit with the passion that we have for it, then hopefully we can have a half decent business out of it.
Yeah, very much so.
And just tell us again, where can people come and pick one of these shirts up from you?
So we have the website, which is niclassicshirtco.co.uk. So I try to keep it as up to date as I can. At the moment, the plan is we get shirts in each week, hopefully anyway, shirts in each week, and we keep them in the shop. We're open 12:30 to 5:30 on a Thursday afternoon. Friday and Saturday, 9:30 to 5:30 all day. And whatever's new goes into the shop first. If they can't, because they're maybe not from Belfast or can travel there, anything new goes onto the website on a Sunday night. So they can get in touch with us on social media, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, just the NI Classic Shirt Co, you'll see the pages there, and just message me and one of us will get back to you as quick as we can.
We're pretty responsive to messages.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Going to say, with us 4 models, sales are through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, it's just,
Can't really.
It's great to see a couple of local guys starting something like this and doing really well. So hopefully we'll get the people, the podcast fans will get behind you and come down into the shop.
Awesome.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, guys. It's
Thanks
been
for having us.
brilliant.
Really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you to today's guest, Jonathan Ray and NI Classic Shirt Co. for their insights on our game against Germany. And I have to say, I did enjoy wearing those old shirts.
Brilliant. Yeah, I've actually stashed one right at the back here. So be expecting an angry tweet from them boys.
I didn't even get to keep one. Well, we've obviously going to be now building up to our game against Germany, where you could win 2 tickets to be there. If you missed the competition, Andy, what do people have to do?
Comment under the YouTube video for this podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Northern Ireland on YouTube.
And make sure you're subscribing.
Oh, make sure you're subscribing, absolutely. But the comment, I want to see a bit of heart in it, Give us your reasons for why you want to be at the Germany game, because it's sold out now and could be your only chance of being at the game.
With some motorbike emojis.
With some motorbike emojis, obviously.
Ovs. And obviously get those entries in before the Sunday, before the game against Germany, which is the 8th of September. So make sure you get your entries in and we'll be picking a winner at some point during the day there.
All that's left to say, really, Adam, is
Grün und Weiß
Army. It's German.
You did German, did you?
GCSE.
Armstrong! Northern Ireland has scored through Jerry Armstrong.
It's a good ball. The flag stays down. Heaney! Oh!
They scored again! It's Davis again! It's job done now.